If Kyrgyzstan is renowned for its natural beauty, so neighbouring Uzbekistan is famous for its spectacular Silk Road architecture. From Samarkand to Khiva, the legacy of the old Silk Road and the rule of Emperor Timur is evident in the country's magnificent mosques, madrasas and caravanserais. My name's Johnny Bealby, I've founded Wild Frontiers, and in this short film I'm going to talk about tourism in Uzbekistan. As the world's only landlocked country surrounded by landlocked countries, Uzbekistan needs things other than traditional beaches to attract the visitor, and it does, in abundance. From Iran to India, Islam has given the world some of the most spectacular architecture there is, and nowhere is this more evident than here in Uzbekistan. The mosques and madrasas of Samarkand are as exquisite as any buildings anywhere on earth. The old walled town of Khiva, a veritable living museum, is an entire town of imposing buildings echoing history, and in Bukhara, probably the most important of all Silk Road towns, the soft, earth-coloured forts, squares, domes and towers are all guaranteed to carry the visitor back to a very different time. The capital of Uzbekistan is Tashkent. Formerly the Soviet Union's fifth largest city, Tashkent is a surprisingly quiet place with large leafy parks, cafes and some excellent hotel options. But Tashkent is usually only the start or end point on a tour through Uzbekistan. And if you're travelling overland from Kyrgyzstan and the Fergana Valley, you'll likely as not first visit Kokand, the former royal khanate or kingdom and home to an impressive palace. But according to Robert Byron, author of The Road to Oxiana, all travellers that venture through Central Asia have one goal in mind: to see the splendours of Samarkand. Centre of the universe, mirror of the world, garden of the soul, jewel of the East, pearl of Islam, Samarkand has had writers and poets waxing lyrical for over 2 millennia, and for good reason. The Registan, a public square used to hear royal proclamations, is surrounded on 3 sides by magnificent mosques and madrasas. The huge Bibi Qayyum Mosque was the largest in the world when it was built at the end of the 14th century. Emperor Timur's tomb has exquisite carvings and delicate gold inlay. Ulugh Bek's observatory is fascinating and impressive. And the Shari Zindar, also known as Street of the Dead, is another atmospheric site. Moving along the Royal Road, perhaps travelling through Shahrazabs and the birthplace of Emperor Timur, you'll come to Bukhara. Personally, my favourite town in the country, if not the whole region, Bukhara is a sleepy place, easy to walk around and just brimming over with magnificent sights. Probably the most famous is the 150-foot high Kolan minaret, allegedly used in the 19th century by the then ruler Nasrullah Khan as a means of execution, and the adjacent mosques and madrasas. Other sites include the Ark, or impenetrable citadel, the Charminar Mosque and the Mosque of 40 Pillars. Here in Bukhara, there's also great shopping, often in the old caravanserais where carpets, shawls, spices and trinkets of all types can be found. And finally, after a 7-hour drive across the Kizilkum Desert lies Khiva. As one of the most powerful khanates in the 19th century, Khiva grew into a sumptuous walled city, much of which has been lovingly restored for the benefit of today's modern visitor. To watch sunrise over the old town is one of travel's great experiences. But it's not all about ancient monuments. Uzbekistan has some beautiful hills and mountains, the quite extraordinary and fascinating Aral Sea, and the famous modern art collection at Nukus. The ancient towns through which you'll pass also have bustling markets, some great open-air restaurants, and some of the best boutique hotels anywhere in the region. Although you might find more tourists here than you will do in some of the neighbouring countries, for anyone with an interest in history and culture, Uzbekistan is simply unmissable.